Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Joy News Today. Coming up, angry contractor locks out pupils of 2 schools in Adansi Formula over non-payment for work done. We'll hear from some stranded parents who are appealing to the MP and the DCE to intervene. Also, Ghana Education Service to hold further consultations with stakeholders in education following fierce resistance towards the proposed introduction of the semester system policy into basic schools. Anxiety consumes tertiary students as they maneuver their way to starting their academic year without their lecturers who are currently on strike. We take you live to University of Ghana campus for the latest. Also in this bulletin, former Deputy Finance Minister Kasil Atufosin pleads not guilty to charge of causing 2.3 million euros financial loss to the state. We have details as he's granted bail with the judge, indicating that his trial will not be treated as secondary to parliamentary work. The AG office has been meanwhile rejecting claims the case is politically motivated. And it's a make-or-break day for Ghana in the ongoing Africa Cup of Nations in Cameroon as Black Stars come up against Comoros in the latest group game. But head coach Milo says his team is ready for the task. Showbiz all coming up. Please stay for details. My name is Mapito Sibidi. Thank you for staying with us. In our first story, students of 2 schools in Adansi North in the Ashanti region have been locked out by the contractor who worked on their school building for non-payment of work done. Biana Primary and Sodor, also Old Akroform DA Primary School pupils, have been left stranded as schools resume today. Parents and guardians are equally worried, and here are some of them sharing their frustration with our sister station, Adom TV.
And then I'll move school now, quite say. To school,
School is supposed to reopen today, but the building is locked and it is worrying.
We are
not happy about the situation. It's been a while since the school building was completed, and today is supposed to be the first day at school. It is worrying that our children cannot have access to the school blocks.
In fact, a higher pass your money to me in school and
Gamba PT, I'm a teacher from the 2 and say a dino and contact a neighbor 2. I'm Mamako Aqua and say, yes, and I see yet to be undone yet.
But during PT meetings, we were told that our children will be allowed to use the new block. But it is surprising to see the school building locked.
And the banner say a down home baby about puncher, any hour for Nibitia. In Jedi Dada, now they in Pufrum. So Mamma can yet and then come baby school about 2. And then they want more in Caribbean because contract a moon to Anka.
The contractor must be paid immediately so the building can be used.
My colleague from our sister station, Adom TV, Isaac K, joins me on the line with more. Now, Isaac, we heard from the parents, but what have the teachers and headmistress been saying? All right, it seems like we have lost Isaac there, but we'll get back to him later in the bulletin. But still on education, the Ghana Education Service says it will be meeting with stakeholders to consider the proposed introduction of the semester system in basic school. This is in response to the fierce resistance from stakeholders in the sector towards the new GES policy. The unions in education on Monday issued a statement bemoaning the GES's lack of consultation among the various stakeholders. The Ghana National Association of Teachers NAT believes the policy is dead on arrival and blames the GES for violating a collective agreement between them. Thomas Musa is General Secretary of NAT, and he's been speaking on the AM show with Benjamin Akakpo.
At the basic level, we teach, we don't lecture. And if you look at UNICEF's own concept of teaching and learning, they have what we call learning through play.
Right.
And so
that is for those at the very basic level, kindergarten.
Kindergarten. You don't go and lecture somebody at KG level. You don't lecture him. You learn through what you call play.
Right.
You learn through, it is an activity oriented. So for example, when the teacher goes to the KG or class 1 or class 2 to teach, you start with something like my head, my shoulders, my knees, my toes, my head, my shoulder. These are not things you can lecture. These are things that you, the teacher, will have to do, and you do it with them. And it is an activity oriented. You learn through play for 6 good hours. Look, by the time, if you start with the children with this particular activity oriented, don't forget that we are now doing the standard-based curriculum.
Right.
And the standard-based curriculum, the principle there is that it is the child-centered learning. And so once it is the child-centered learning, and it is internationally been accepted, and UNICEF is even promoting it now, children must learn through play and all those things. By 12 o'clock, the KG children, they would have been tired, and you see them sleeping in the class.
Right.
And all that. And aside that one, you are asking the children to stay in school from January to somewhere June. Master, since 1989, that I did my national service at 28 February Girls Road Primary School and went to St. Thomas to go and teach at the JHS, and from there to the training college. I have not done any other work than teaching. I have taught at the KG level, I have taught at the primary level, taught at the JHS, and I've been a head teacher before. This semester,
is this the first time you're seeing anything like this?
I'm explaining this for people to know that I am speaking from a professional point of view, and I am speaking as a practitioner. I have been in the system since 1989. You can calculate the number of years I have been in the teaching profession. And so, this particular thing that we are saying, it is dead on arrival. It is dangerous. Yes, it is dangerous. You to introduce a semester system at the KG level, it is dangerous.
Ranking member on Parliament's Education Committee, Peter Corto, wants the Ministry of Education and Ghana Education Service to withdraw the policy. He described it as professionally wrong. He's also been speaking on the AM show.
So if one teacher is going to handle a class from assuming 7:30 to 3:30, how does he get work? How does he get home and prepare for the next day? Marking of exercises and the preparation of lesson notes. So I think some of these things the ministry failed in taking them into consideration. Then again, the number of weeks. I know at the tertiary level, I don't know if it has changed now, but it is 16 weeks that we do for a semester.
Right.
And you want a basic school to run 20 weeks of a semester. How come? So in the year, it's going to be 40 weeks. But when we were practicing the semester, we were able to do about 42 weeks in a term. You see, from January to March or early April, they break. Then they come back in May. By July, August, they break. Then September, they go. By the middle of December, they break. So that the child, both the child or the learner and the teacher can have time to rest. See, so to me, this arrangement has, as the other members, has already died on arrival. The ministry must withdraw it. It is professionally wrong on their part. And in fact, it is not workable to me. Yeah.
So this is completely unworkable. Completely unworkable.
Yeah, it is not workable.
And it's something that, as ranking member of the Education Committee, that's the stance you're going to adopt. Is that the stance of not just you, but your caucus in Parliament? I mean, I know you are not, Parliament is yet to reconvene, but the thoughts you've been sharing with your colleague MPs, are you on the same page in respect to this?
Yes, oh yeah, we're all on the same page. You see, if you look at even the environment in which our teachers and then the students do the teaching and learning, that you will realize that we don't have the adequate infrastructure. If you look at the environment in which the teaching and learning activities take place, you will discover that we don't even have the adequate furniture. In some communities, learners or children have to carry home or carry to school to the kitchens to go and sit and learn. And they are going to sit uncomfortable for these hours. So it's not proper. The classrooms, some of them are poorly ventilated. So if you want to keep the child in that environment for a very long time, you are endangering his or her health.
In response to the resistance by the stakeholders, the GS says it will be doing further consultations on the matter. Cassandra speaks for the service.
Say that we had even reduced them because usually they had we had 42 weeks, and the committee that met rather reduced to 40 weeks, and then we had to split for each semester 2020. Of course, there is 1 month vacation within each of the 20 weeks, and then we have holidays, we have weekends, and all of that. And that has been the case. Even when we're doing the trimester, we had sometimes 12 weeks, 14, maybe 14, and then it's just that because they are aligning to the junior high school semester and the senior high school semester, it appears as if they are going to school for a longer period. But we have rather, cumulatively reduced from the 42 to rather 40 weeks. And then we encourage our parents and everybody to bear with us, and definitely it's the best that we want for our kids.
Now, there's also been a conversation going on about withdrawing the policy. Is this something you're considering?
We always invite discussions and everything. We can't do it alone. In educating these kids, it's holistic. And so whatever decisions or discussions or suggestions that are coming along, definitely we'll look at it on the table. But I can't say for a fact now that we would consider rescinding the decision or not. That would be, that's a policy issue and will come from the ministry. But definitely, I know the minister and my boss, the Director General, Professor Pesoko, will definitely have a look at it. And then we welcome all opinions because it's for the best of the country.
But what purpose will the semester system serve at the basic schools? Here's Director General of the Ghana Education Service.
As we are all aware, we've been in the news for some time now. We indicated to you that we were working on the calendar. The minister set a committee to look at the calendar and to ensure that various challenges that we have with the calendar previously may not occur. We also needed to align the calendar for both the junior highs and then the basic schools. If you remember last year, for example, we introduced a calendar that the junior highs were running semester, but the primary KG had the trimester. This time round, we felt the need to align them, especially at that level where we know that a lot of time the children go to school together. So when you break them, it becomes an issue. So we needed to do that. Then, as we said in our various correspondence, various write-ups, TVET has also joined us, and we felt the need to align our calendar with them. And let me indicate that even though I am announcing it, the TVET schools are equally going to use this calendar for their programs. So the committee worked, they finished, they presented to the minister looked at it and made the suggestions, we worked on it, and finally we've got it well done. We indicated also that we are working to come up with a calendar that goes beyond 2022. We are about finalizing that bit of it, but we can't keep waiting till that is done. And for that matter, the 2022 calendar, which is ready, we have called you here to announce it. And for the second cycle schools, we have SHS 3 and SHS 2 going to school on Monday, 7th February 2022. Then SHS 1 will go to school on 4th April 2022. But we have indicated that their time is tentative. Tentative in the sense that their BEC results, it's yet to be released by WAEC. From the timelines that WAEC has given to us, we hope that we will be able to work and get the students to go to school by 4th April. So we've made provision in the unlikely event that they are not able to finish on that. We've made provision for that. That's why we said tentative. Now, let me give some further explanation on the Form 3s. The Form 3s, as we speak now, are in school. They are in Form 2. And they are finishing their academic year on the 28th of January. The Form 2s, as we speak now, they are in school. They are in Form 1. And they are finishing their academic year on the 28th of January. What it means is that when they finish the academic year, they will come home for 1 week, 10 days. They will come home for 10 days. From 28th to the 7th, will give us about some 10 days. So we give them some rest, and then they move on to the next academic year.
You're still watching Joy News. Today we're going to take a quick breather, but when we come back, we still stay on education. We go to the University of Ghana to find out how the students are being impacted by the UTAG strike. You're welcome back. Now, students at the University of Ghana are in a state of confusion as they hear their lecturers will continue with their sit-down strike. At the heart of their concerns is the disruptions to academic activities, particularly lectures and their project work. They are, however, appealing to government and management to step in to salvage the situation. My colleague Michael Ashali was there earlier and sent in this.
Since classes should have started, but that's not the case. As a student, how are you bearing the brunt of it?
Well, Rani, at the moment, what I can say to you is that it's unfortunate because as I'm speaking to you right now, I'm supposed to be taking a geochemistry class together with an Ignos of Africa class right now. But I went to the class and the lecturer is not in. And you know that as we are getting, the information we are getting is that UTAG is on strike and the department is saying until they are back, nothing can be done about it. So it's unfortunate to us at this moment. And we are going to see in the coming days more disruption to the academic calendar. At the time, the management of the university is trying its best to revert to the August starting date for every academic semester. So I think this time government should try its best to be resolving the matter instead of ordering the teachers to go back to the classroom.
So that's Ellie, a level 400 student who says, well, he's really struggling to get that. So I have Mumuni here. Mumuni, level 100 or 400?
200.
Level 200, okay. So, I mean, what class should you have by now and it hasn't happened? How is that affecting?
That is sociology class. And it went there and the lecturer is not there. And I think this week we're supposed to be learning a lot. While they are still on strike and we don't know when they are going to call it off, I think we'll be lacking very behind. So we are pleading on behalf of the government to, do something about it so that they will resolve the issue and the lectures will return back for us to learn. Otherwise, if you're not a serious student, you are going to lag far behind because we need to be reading on our own. And we know that not all the students are willing to learn if the lectures are not around. So that is what.
So you mentioned that you went to the class. When you went to the class, were you given an official communique that the class was cancelled?
Oh, yesterday, I think there was a meeting between the UTAG and then the government, and what came out was that they are not going to call off the strike yet until further notice. So we don't know. We are still waiting patiently for them to return so that we can start our lectures.
Okay. So that's Mumuni, level 200 student. It says that he's also bearing the brunt of his lecturer's decision to continue to stay on strike. Nicholas, how about you? How is this really difficult for you as a student?
So for me, when I was coming this semester, I had a lot of plans, and looking at the way the semester is going, it doesn't look like all the plans will come to pass. And most of us feel aimless, kind of, because you are going, coming back, you don't know what you are doing. I checked my timetable. They told us that, oh, the timetable, it will change probably if the lectures resume, so we shouldn't really pay attention to that. So it's like we are just in the school. We are not really doing anything, so yes.
Let's go to the Ashanti region now, where students of Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology are unsure about when lectures will commence, as the University Teachers Association of Ghana continues to strike. Academic activities were expected to start on Monday, but students await resumption of their lectures. The freshers are being directed to various libraries to familiarize themselves with their programs of study and the university environment. Now, Jama was on the university campus and joins us on the line. Now, tell us more on what you observed from the KNUST. Now, if you can hear me, tell me what you can report from the KNUST campus.
So the situation at KNUST is not different from other campuses across the country. Lecturers are still on strike, and students, especially the freshmen, are on campus trying to find their way around the campus and trying to acclimatize with the system on campus. Now, what the school authorities have done is that they've opened the various libraries and other learning centers to these students for them to go in and get to know more about the courses they'll be reading on the campus. So the lectures were supposed to begin yesterday, but due to the strike, the freshmen and the continuing students both are yet to go into their classrooms and start teaching and learning. So the situation at KNUST is not different. The only thing that the school authorities are doing is to encourage these students to go into the libraries and at least get to read something and get to know more about their courses or areas of study.
All right, thank you very much. That's my colleague Nana Aljaman. He's reporting from the KNUST campus. Let's do other stories now, because former Deputy Finance Minister Kasia Atufosen has pleaded not guilty to the charge of causing a 2.3 million euros loss to the state. This charge relates to the procurement of ambulances for the country, which the Attorney General says were unfit for purpose. Two other accused persons, Sylvester Mana, a former chief director at the Ministry of Health, and Richard Chakpa, a businessman who also pleaded not guilty. They were all granted bail in sums totaling 8 million cedis. Court correspondent Joseph Akable has the rest of the story.
The Attorney General's office on Tuesday responded to allegations that its prosecution of Dr. Atufosen is politically motivated. Alfred Tuayeboa is a Deputy Attorney General.
We come to court with evidence. The matter has just started. We are going to lead evidence in court. At the end of the day, the evidence will show that this case is not a case where we are trying to use any other means to weaken their strength. Nothing of that sort. Pure legal matters and nothing. We are dealing with what we have through the investigations conducted by the Ghana Police Service and IOCO. So based on what we have, we think these are the appropriate people to be brought before this court. This one is a fake ambulance scandal, and we are ready anytime to appear before the courts and put across our case.
Dr. Fosen himself had the opportunity to respond to the charges leveled against him. He pleaded not guilty as he was granted a self-recognizance bail. The other two accused persons were also granted bails with sureties in the sum of 2 million and 5 million cedis, respectively. Felix Kwachofos, who served in government with Dr. Atufosen, insists that the case is politically motivated. Mr. Kwachofos, we spoke to the AG's office a short while ago. Yesterday we heard from one of your leaders in Parliament who believes that there's an attempt to weaken your front. But the AG's office, they've responded. They say that it's the evidence that is speaking, and that's why they are in court. You served in government with Mr. Fosen. What do you make of what you heard in court today about the facts?
Well, if the evidence indeed spoke, the AG would not be in court, because we are clear in our minds that everything done around the subject matter of the purchase of the 200 ambulances was above board. It was done in compliance with the laws and regulations of the Republic of Ghana. The necessary approvals and authorizations were sought no payment was done irregularly. As far as we are concerned, no loss has been occasioned to the state of Ghana.
The Attorney General's office has been given up until 8 February 2022 to make the necessary disclosures, i.e. to make available to the court documents they intend to use as evidence against the accused persons. The trial continues on 14th of February 2022. For Joy News on the Law Courts Complex, my name is Joseph Akable.
The Ghana Police Service says it has suspended motor checks until further notice. According to a wireless message which has gone viral on social media, the service urges personnel to focus their energies on traffic management and control and road crashes. The statement warned of dealing with MTTD officers who go against the directive. While as relieving this could be for some motorists, there could, however, be other implications for commuters in general in terms of incidents of crime. So what could be the purpose for this motor check suspension by MTTD personnel? Superintendent Alex Ubing is the Director of Public Affairs at the Ghana Police Headquarters, and he's been telling us more.
It is not meant for all police jurisdictions across the country. We have about 18 police jurisdictions. So if it relates to Tema, and of course we must put the discourse in context of that. And it is contingent on the situation for the jurisdictional head of any police administrative area to design strategies that will ensure that certain perplexing situations are dealt with. And if in the Tema region, there are diurnal, rush hour, intense traffic congestion, and that is the way the authorities want to manage traffic, such that the attention of deployed officers and equipment will be geared towards directing, controlling, assisting, and supporting commuters and motorists, so that gridlock traffic that normally occur during morning rush hour from 5 a.m. to about 10 p.m. is about 10 a.m. and then in the evening rush hour from 2 to as late as 10 p.m. So be it, and therefore we must allow the police in the region to ensure that such deployed strategies are supported and encouraged.
Transport expert Cecile Gabra shares some thoughts on the directive.
Well, in the first place, it's sad that such a memorandum was leaked to the general public. I feel whoever did that must be dealt with. The police have got their own strategies, and therefore, whoever leaked that must be dealt with as soon as practicable, right? Just like I'm saying, once in a while the police will say, okay, let's suspend this, let's do this. It's all strategies to make sure that road safety will be at its best. So whoever leaked that information must be dealt with. Secondly, what my very good friend Alex Obin said is so right. There's a lot of traffic congestion. But I feel they must not leave that alone. They must do the two, okay? And they should work concurrently with each other. You must check people's documents as well. I mean, that shouldn't be any free movement for those recalcitrant drivers. They must be dealt with. People are driving, especially. My target should be those driving with a DVDP plate. Okay, DP means direct from ports, DV means defective vehicles, and they don't have any respect for the laws on our roads. So Superintendent Bing, I'm sure, will tell the team that, hey, look, it's leaked, so let's do the two. The two must be done instead of just concentrating on traffic management. We have a problem. Problem is that most drivers, I'll say about 70% of drivers would like to flout the road regulations by driving on the shoulders of the road, by running red lights and so on. And this comes under traffic management, and we must not leave all. We must. I will advise my very good friend that look, if this memorandum has been leaked, fair enough, but we should continue to work as the police force is working at this very moment. I think we all agree that the police of today is far better than the police of yesterday, and it's not an issue where they're putting us in a position to be scared, but to do the right thing.
You're still watching Joe and You. Today we'll take a break for business.
Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. The much-touted Pan-African Payments and Settlement System has been rolled out among all central banks in Africa. The system, which is expected to serve as a payment mechanism for transactions on the continent, will save African businesses about $5 billion annually in cost of transactions. Secretary General of the African Continental Free Trade Secretariat, Wamkeli Mene, believes that this new payment system will help businesses to boost intra-regional trade. Here's more in this report.
The Pan-African Payment and Settlement Systems has been described as the financial platform to eliminate high cost of moving funds across Africa. According to the Secretary General of the Continental Free Trade Area, Wamkeli Mene, the launch of the platform will see a robust trade under the agreement this year.
As we start the year 2022, we expect to see robust trading under the AFCFTA. It is also the year in which, by most predictions, the disruptions that were occasioned by the pandemic will likely begin to ease, thus tending towards normalcy in economic and trading activities. The commercial rollout of the PAPs today is therefore timely and is set to boost intra-Africa trade significantly by making the cost of cross-border payments less reliant on third currencies.
Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia stressed the need for all central banks on the continent to switch to the system.
It is very, very important to help accelerate the process by making sure your respective national switches, the respective national switches in each of these countries are connected directly into PAPs. Why do I say so? Because if we connect the national switches, that means you are connecting all your banks. So we do not have to rely on individual banks connecting into PAPs.
Chief Executive Mike Ogbalu tells Joy Business measures are in place to ensure that traders benefit immensely from the system.
What we are building is a payment rail. Now, we are going to be partnering with third-party service providers who will actually implement solutions that will take it to the end customer. So, for example, on this platform, you could have mobile money transfer operators who can build their remittance service on top of this infrastructure and not worry about how to settle those transactions, okay? You could have companies doing things like invoicing, okay, such that a merchant anywhere in Africa can invoice anybody across and they can pay in their local currencies. Do you understand? So you begin to see these values now extended either by commercial banks or payment service providers to the end customers.
The system has already been installed by all 6 central banks in the West African Monetary Zone, including Ghana.
The Design and Technology Institute is bent on strengthening public-private partnerships. According to its chief executive, Constance Swanika, the institute is ready to work with the Ghana Standards Authority to implement the precision quality that will seek to standardize and enhance the development and testing of prototype products to meet Ghana's industrial needs for artisans. She spoke to Joy Business at the signing of an MOU between DTI and the Ghana Standards Authority. Here's more. The MOU is to intensify collaboration in developing standards and improve practices among small and medium-scale enterprises, especially craft professionals. It also forms part of DTI's collaborative strategy to work with key stakeholders to achieve the objective of transforming the TVET livelihood program for sustainable jobs, which seeks to enable 3 million young people, particularly women, to access dignified and fulfilling work opportunities by 2030. Here is the Chief Executive Officer for the Design and Technology Institute, Constance Elizabeth Swanica.
The importance of today's signing of the MOU is really to signify the need for private sector to work more closely with the public sector. In our case, the mandate of the Design and Technology Institute is to really push for the agenda of the need to certify the informal sector, most importantly the artisanal sector. I think big on the agenda is the need for job creation and how do we unlock the potential for high quality jobs. Industry has very high standards. Customers also have very high expectations of, you know, if you're buying anything and you're also demanding service, there's the need to have quality goods and services coming out.
The Director General of the Ghana Standards Authority, Professor Alex Dodu, believes standardization of artisanal work across the country will create more jobs.
On one hand, we've actually started working with DTI already. Our focus is that how do you formalize the informal sector, and how also do you create jobs for people in carpentry, masonry, metal fabrication, deep sea welding. We need to develop a standard, and the request we expect is by Monday, so that we would form a technical committee in line with how we do the standards that will involve all the stakeholders. Once you have a standard, you can certify or license to that standard, and that is the next step for us.
The 3-year project seeks to create 40,000 direct and indirect job opportunities for the youth, especially young women, through TVET. Under the project, DTI will work with the Ghana Standards Authority to develop standards that will guide the development and testing of prototype products that will serve the ever-growing industrial needs of Ghana and the sub-region. James Ishen's report for Joy Business. And the small business news at the top of the hour on the marketplace. Do stay tuned. There's sports coming up.
Hello, time now for sports on Joy News today with me, Muftau Nabila Abdullah. It is a make or break day for Black Stars of Ghana, who comes up against Comoros in their last group game in the ongoing African Cup of Nations. Despite picking just 1 point out of 6 after 2 matches in the tournament, head coach of the team, Milovan Rajvac, is confident his team will be up to the task against Comoros later today. Now let's hear from the Minister of Youth and Sports, Mustafa Usef, who has called on Ghanaians to throw their weight behind the Black Stars. According to him, even the defending champions, Algeria, are still struggling to survive in the tournament, and that supporting the Black Stars will only be the way if we want them to qualify to the next phase of the tournament.
I wish the Black Stars well, and I'm also using this opportunity to call on Ghanaians to be patient with the team. So far, you can see what is happening. The big teams, even the last champions are also struggling. Algeria is also struggling. Most of the teams are the big teams as far as African Cup is concerned are not doing well. So we should be patient with our team and let the team focus and pray and support them, and so that they can deliver tomorrow for us. The most important thing is they qualifying to the next stage, and I'm very hopeful that they will qualify.
Good afternoon, welcome to Showbiz here on Joy News today. Now, former chief drummer of the Black Stars, Joseph Langabell, has blamed negative comments, low support and too much politics as factors accounting for the team's inability to win a cup in so many years. As Ghana heads to play against Comoros today, he hopes the Stars qualify to the next stage and subsequently bring the cup home. We bring in the cup home because there are a lot of speculations.
Becky, you know, you and I know that long time ago, before Ghana take our last AFCON, I'm 20 years old.
Okay.
When we take the AFCON. I'm there. I'm around before we take the cup, because that time I'm in Nigeria, where I lived to Libya.
Okay.
Go and watch that match. No, I see the time Were
you working with them at the
No, that time, me myself, I went to Nigeria to go and hustle.
Okay.
Because I lived Ghana in 1979.
Okay.
You understand? And 1982, you see the group of Ghanaians from Nigeria to Libya is not far.
Yeah. So you decided to go.
We decided to go and watch the match. Then after the match, when we took the car, we come back.
You came back.
So
you saw 20 years, when you were 20 years, you saw Ghana take the AFCON Cup back to
Then
home.
I saw 1978 too in Ghana. Host and win.
Okay.
Host and win.
We hosted it and we won it.
That is it.
Okay.
Before 1980, we went to Nigeria. Then Nigeria people took the cup back. Then 1982, Nigeria go and defend it. Then we defended it in Nigeria. Then Nigeria took it. And Nigeria go and defend it in Libya. Then we take it back.
Took it back again.
For Nigeria.
Okay.
Then since then, things are not okay for our national team. The journalists, you have to do something better for these our Ghanaian footballers. When you talk negative to the players, it goes to them because when they hear, they cannot sleep because they have families. They have family, they have children, they have brothers, they have sisters, they have everything in this country. But if you have bombasted them there, maybe one of the family or one of the wife will call them, Charlie, come and see how Ghanaians are insulting you people. You see, when it happens so, Becky, the player himself will feel bad.
Yeah.
The spiritual or the spirits, you can go inside the tournament, you see that one or it's past and gone.
Okay.
You understand me?
Okay, so basically negative comments.
That's it.
You know, brings them down, brings their spirits down.
That's it.
It demoralizes them.
Fantastic. And another one too before, when the national team is going to play football, there's no any hula ball which is a NDC MPP. You understand?
Yeah.
But since 2009, 10 years ago, when we bring the cup, which is under 20, we bring the cup to this country.
Yeah.
There's no any politician, any politics matter inside this. And before we went to.
But do you think we have politics going
But
on?
right now, from that day, no. Right now, when NDC is power, when the national team is playing, MPP is going them bad. When MPP is power, when the national team is playing, we saw it in AFCON when they blocked some of the after we reach semi-final, they bring extra supporters, dignitaries. They say this and that. They are not. I'm not calling them supporters. They come to watch the match and go.
Here on Joy News today, over to you, Maps.
Thank you very much, Becky. What scoreline are you predicting today for today's game?
Ghana to Comoros. I don't know about them.
Okay, all right, cool. Should we put money on the table for it?
No, please. Thank you, please.
Okay, thank you very much for the word. So, suits, and that's how we end Joy News today. For more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com. I am Maputo Sibidi. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.